I stared at the envelope in my hand. "Lena, you've been holding that letter for 5 minutes," Maya said. "Either open it or burn it." "I'm deciding which one feels safer," I muttered. She leaned across the small cafe table. "Who is it from?" "No idea." I flipped the envelope over. "No return address." "Open it already," she said. "You're making me nervous." "I'm nervous too." I finally slid my finger under the seal and pulled the paper out. The letter inside was thick and expensive. Maya watched me closely. "Well," I read the first line slowly. "You have been selected to participate in a private 30-day challenge hosted by Victor Hale." Maya blinked. "Victor Hale, the billionaire." "That's what it says." "Okay, keep going." I kept reading, my voice quiet. "Participants will live inside a private residence for 30 days. At the end of the challenge, the surviving participant who faces the truth will inherit Victor Hale's estate." Maya's jaw dropped. "Wait," she said. "Did that just say inherit?" "Yeah." She leaned closer. "As in all his money?" "That's what it sounds like." "Lena," she whispered, "that man is worth billions." "I know." "Is this a prank?" "I don't think so." "Then who's the other participant?" she asked. I lowered my eyes to the next line. My stomach twisted. "Lena," Maya said. "Why did you stop?" I swallowed. "The other participant," I said slowly, "is someone from my past." "Who?" I didn't answer right away. "Lena," Maya said again. "Who is it?" I turned the paper so she could read the name. Her eyes widened. "Oh no," she breathed. "Yeah, you're kidding. I wish I was joking." She leaned back in her chair. "Adrian Cole. The one and only." Maya rubbed her forehead. "The same Adrian who destroyed your life?" "Yep." "The same Adrian who accused you of cheating in front of half the city?" "Yep." "The same Adrian who I remember what he did?" I cut in. She exhaled slowly. "This is insane," she said. "Why would anyone trap you two together?" "I have no idea. 30 days in a house with him." "That's the offer? And the winner gets everything?" "That's what the letter says." Maya studied my face. "You're thinking about it." "I'm not. You are." "I'm just processing." She leaned forward again. "Lena, listen to me," she said quietly. 2 years ago, that man destroyed your reputation. No, you lost your job. Remember, you spent months hiding from people. I remember that. 2, maybe this is your chance. My chance for what? To face him. I already faced him, I said bitterly. No, she replied. You survived him. That's different. I looked down at the letter again. Why would a billionaire care about our past? I asked. Maybe he likes drama, Maya said. That's comforting. Or maybe, she added, he knows something you don't. I frowned. What does that mean? I don't know, she said. But this feels too strange to be random. I folded the letter slowly. So what are you going to do? Maya asked. I should throw it away. Are you going to? No, she smiled faintly. I didn't think so. A week later, I stood in front of a massive iron gate. This is a bad idea, I murmured. The gate opened automatically. Too late now, Maya said behind me. You've already signed the contract. Remind me why you supported this again. Because I want to see Adrian sweat. That's comforting. A tall stone mansion waited at the end of the driveway. 30 days, Maya said. You can survive 30 days. I survived 2 years of humiliation, I replied. I can survive him. The front door opened. Guess this is it, Maya said. I stepped inside the entrance hall. The door behind me opened again. A familiar voice spoke. Lena. I froze. I turned slowly. Adrian Cole stood a few steps away, looking exactly the same confident. Posture, same calm eyes, same man who ruined my life. He smiled. Slightly long time, he said. I crossed my arms. Not long enough. He glanced around the hall. So this is the famous challenge. Looks like it. He looked back at me. Still chasing money? He asked softly. Anger burned in my chest. You really haven't changed, I said, and you still look angry. I have good reasons, he shrugged. Maybe, he said. I stared at him. Why would a billionaire force us to face each other after everything that happened? Before I could say another word, the mansion doors slammed shut. Then the mansion doors locked behind us with a heavy metallic click. Cop. To the heavy click of the doors locking echoed through the hall. I turned toward Adrian. Did you hear that? He glanced back at the door and pushed it once. It didn't move. Well, he said calmly, I guess the game has started. I don't remember agreeing to being locked inside. You signed the contract. I signed a participation agreement. Not a prison sentence. Before Adrian could answer, the lights above us flickered. A large screen on the far wall turned on. A man's face appeared. He looked older, calm, and very confident. I folded my arms. That must be Victor Hale. Adrian gave a small laugh, the famous billionaire himself. The man on the screen spoke. Good evening. Lena Hart and Adrian Cole. His voice was smooth and controlled. Welcome to the truth game. I stepped closer to the screen. So you're the one who trapped us here. Victor smiled slightly. You were not trapped. You accepted an invitation. An invitation usually includes the option to leave. Not in this case. Adrian shrugged. Relax. Lena, we're here for the prize. I shot him a look. Some of us didn't come here for money. Victor continued speaking. For the next 30 days, the two of you will live inside this mansion. Adrian raised an eyebrow. Just the two of us? For the most part, Victor replied. I asked sharply, and what exactly are we supposed to do here? Victor folded his hands on the screen. Every day the system will present a task. What kind of task? I asked. A truth task. Adrian chuckled. That sounds dramatic. Victor nodded slowly. You will answer questions about your past. My chest tightened. Our past? Yes, Victor said. Your relationship, your choices, and your secrets. Adrian leaned against the wall. That's easy. Victor looked directly at him. The winner will be the one who survives the truth. Adrian laughed out. Loud, easy. I glanced at him. You sound very confident? I don't have anything to hide, he said before I could reply. Another voice spoke behind us. Confidence is not the same as honesty. I turned around. A tall woman stood near the staircase. She held a tablet in her hands and watched us calmly. Who are you? I asked. My name is Clara Holt, she said. And you are? The house manager. Adrian tilted his head. So you're babysitting us? Clara ignored the joke. I enforced the rules of the challenge. What rules? I asked. She gestured toward the ceiling. Every room in this mansion contains cameras. I frowned. You're recording everything? Yes. Adrian smirked. Good thing I always look great on camera. Clara didn't smile. If either of you refuses a task, your prize money will be reduced. I crossed my arms. And if we lie, the system will know. Adrian raised a brow. How? That information is confidential. Victor's voice returned through the speakers. Let us begin the first task. The lights dimmed slightly. The screen changed. A single sentence appeared. I read it slowly. Who betrayed the other first? The question felt like a knife. Adrian looked at the screen and shrugged. That's the first question? Yes, Victor said. Adrian glanced at me. You want to go first? No, fine, he said. He stepped forward confidently. Lena cheated on me. The words hit me like a slap. My heart stopped. I stared at him. You're serious? He shrugged again. That's what happened. That's not what happened. It is from my perspective. That's not perspective, I said quietly. That's a lie. Victor spoke calmly. Lena Hart, do you dispute the statement? Yes. Adrian sighed. Here we go again. I stepped closer to him. You accused me of cheating without proof? I had proof. No, I said sharply. You had rumors? You were seen with another man. That man was my cousin. Adrian rolled his eyes. That's what you said. That was the truth. Clara watched us silently. Victor spoke again. The system is analyzing the response. Adrian laughed. What system? Please wait, Victor said. A quiet hum filled the room. Adrian looked at the screen. This is ridiculous. My hands trembled slightly. You ruined my life with that accusation. You ruined our relationship. First, I didn't cheat on you. That's what you claim. Screen suddenly flashed red. A message appeared in bold letters. Adrian frowned. What does that mean? I read the words slowly. The screen suddenly says, lie detected. The red message stayed on the screen. Lie detected. Adrian stared at it. You've got to be kidding me, said. A soft chime sounded from the speakers. Victor Hale's calm voice filled the room. Adrian Cole. $10 million have been deducted from your potential prize. Adrian turned toward the camera. 10 million? That is correct. That system is broken. System is not broken. Victor replied. Adrian pointed at me. She's manipulating it somehow. I let out a short breath. You think I hacked a billionaire's security system? You're clearly playing games. I answered honestly. I said. Victor spoke again. The system penalizes false statements. Adrian ran a hand through his hair. This is ridiculous. Clara's voice came through the speakers. Participants are advised to remain calm. Adrian looked up. Easy for you to say. I folded my arms. You shouldn't have lied. Lie. The screen disagrees. He glared at me. You're enjoying this, aren't you? No. You look pretty satisfied. I'm not satisfied, I said quietly. I'm just tired of being blamed for something I didn't do. He didn't answer. For a moment. The room felt heavy with silence. Then the screen went. Dark. Clara's voice returned. Dinner will be served in 1 hour. Adrian scoffed. So, we're really living. Here, looks that way. Started walking away. Where are you going? I asked. To find a drink? You think alcohol will help? No, he said, but it will help me tolerate you. I watched him disappear down the hallway. An hour later, I walked into the dining room. Adrian was already there. He leaned back in his chair. Well, he said, look who decided to show up. Live here now, I replied. Unfortunately, before I could answer, the doors opened. A man in a dark suit stepped inside. He looked calm and confident. I frowned. Who are you? He stopped near the table. My name is Daniel Reyes. Adrian tilted his head. And why are you here? I am the legal observer for this challenge. I pulled out a chair. Meaning what? Daniel clasped his hands. I ensure that the rules are followed and that the outcome remains legally binding. Adrian snorted. So, you're basically a referee, if that helps you. Understand. Looked at him carefully. Here. Verifying the truth tasks? Yes. How? Private investigators, Daniel replied. Adrian frowned. You're investigating us? The investigation began long before you arrived. Felt a chill in my chest. You mean someone already checked our past? Yes. Adrian leaned forward. So that stupid machine is judging us based on your reports. In part. Adrian laughed bitterly. This game keeps getting better. Daniel looked at me. You may find the process uncomfortable. That's an understatement. Goal is truth, he said. Adrian muttered. The goal is humiliation. Daniel didn't respond. Dinner passed mostly in silence. Later that night, I walked into the kitchen. I poured a glass of water. Then a voice spoke behind me. You're enjoying this, aren't you? I turned around. Adrian stood in the doorway. I thought you were upstairs. I couldn't sleep. He stepped closer. You must feel pretty good right now. About what? Watching me lose money? That wasn't my goal. You didn't stop it. I didn't cause it. You pushed the system against me. I told the truth, I said quietly. He looked at me for a long moment. You really believe you're innocent? I know I am. Before he could respond, a soft chime echoed through the house. The kitchen lights dimmed slightly. A small screen on the wall turned on. Adrian sighed. Another task already? The screen displayed a new message. Truth task. #2. I read the words slowly. Reveal. The worst thing you ever did to the other person. Adrian stared at the screen. That's personal. Here's personal. He crossed his arms. So you want to go first again? No. Convenient. You accused me of cheating, I said. That already counts. That was a mistake. Mistake that destroyed my life. He didn't answer. The silence stretched between us. I felt memories pushing into my mind. The music, the crowd, the party 2 years ago, the moment Adrian shouted those accusations in front of everyone. I clenched my glass. Tighter, that night, I said quietly. You humiliated me in front of hundreds of people. Adrian looked away. I thought it was true. You never asked me. I saw messages. They were fake. You keep saying that because it's the truth. Daniel suddenly appeared in the doorway. I believe both of you should be careful with your assumptions. Frowned. How long have you been standing there? Long enough. I looked at him. You're listening to everything? That is my responsibility. Adrian pointed at the screen. So what's the system waiting for? Daniel spoke calmly. The system is waiting for honesty. Adrian exhaled slowly. You want honesty? Yes. He looked at me. The worst thing I did, he said quietly, was believing someone else over you. My chest tightened. That's the first honest thing you've said tonight. Daniel watched both of us. There was something strange in his expression, like he knew more than he wanted to. I stepped closer to him. You look like you're hiding something. I am not hiding anything. Then why do you look like that? He hesitated. Adrian frowned. What does that mean? Daniel glanced at the screen, then back at me, his voice lowered. You don't know the full truth about that night. CHP for Daniel appeared at my door quietly. I have something you need to see, he said. What is it? I asked. He handed me a tablet. A recording from the night your life changed. I froze. You mean the party? Yes, he said. Watch carefully. I pressed play. The video started with flashing lights and crowded laughter. I recognized the scene immediately. There's Adrian, I whispered. He looked confident, laughing with friends. I squinted. Then I saw someone lean close to him, whispering in his ear. My heart stopped. That's Marcus, I said slowly. His brother. Daniel nodded. He planted the words that led to your public humiliation. Adrian entered the room behind me. What is that? It's a recording, I said. From that night, someone was feeding you lies. He leaned over my shoulder. That can't be true. I saw it myself, I said. He whispered things about me. Lies about cheating. That's what triggered everything. My brother would never do that, Adrian said, shaking his head. You're making this up? I'm not, I said firmly. Look at the video. Turned toward Marcus, who I didn't realize was behind him. Adrian froze. Marcus smiled. A cold, measured smile. Didn't expect to see me here, he said. What are you doing here? Adrian snapped. I came to support my brother, Marcus said. Family loyalty matters more than old girlfriends. My stomach twisted. This changes everything. Adrian shook his head. I can't believe this. He would never believe it, I said. I didn't make this happen. He did. Daniel stepped forward. Remember the rules. Outside interference could disqualify Adrian from the challenge. Adrian's face tightened. I can't just ignore him, Marcus smirked. Try me. A chime sounded. The screen in the hall lit up again. Truth task. Who benefited most from the breakup? Adrian looked at me. His jaw tightened. You want me to answer that now? It's the system, I said. You have no choice. He ran a hand through his hair. Fine. I waited, my heart hammering. Adrian stared at the screen, then back at Marcus. This is messed up. Tell the truth, I whispered. He swallowed. My brother benefited the most. He made me act, and he gained everything. Yes, I said quietly. That's it. That's what really happened. Marcus laughed softly. Nice try, Lena. You think you can blame me and erase your own mistakes? This isn't about Lena, Adrian said sharply. It's about you manipulating everything. I took a deep breath. You finally said it. You finally admitted it. Daniel's eyes were calm. Keep this professional. The system only cares about honesty. Marcus's smile faded. You think you're safe in here? He said. I'm done hiding, I said. And you can't touch me anymore. Adrian ran a hand over his face. I don't know what to believe anymore. Believe the video, I said. It proves everything you've been told was false. The chime sounded again. Another task appeared. I read it aloud. Who benefited most from the breakup? I already answered, Adrian said quietly. Then it's settled, I said. Marcus's lips curled. You can't humiliate me in front of everyone and expect to walk away. I felt anger mixed with something else, relief. For the first time, I wasn't alone in knowing the truth. Adrian stared at the screen. His face was pale. I should have asked you. I should have listened. Yes, I said. You should have. Marcus leaned against the wall. You still don't understand. Family comes first. The room was tense. I couldn't believe he had been hiding in the shadows this whole time. Daniel's calm voice interrupted. Focus on the task. Personal interference will be monitored. Watched Adrian struggle with his emotions. For the first time, I saw hesitation where there had always been certainty. I whispered under my breath, finally. Another chime sounded. A new message appeared on the screen. My stomach sank. I read it slowly. The next task reveals that one of Adrian's past statements about Lena destroyed her entire career. The screen lit up again. My heart thumped before I even read the words, Adrian Cole. Please read your statement aloud from the night you accused Lena Hart of cheating.
I froze.
My hands gripping the edge of the table. He blinked at the screen. I don't want to. You have to, I said quietly, my voice steady. It's part of the game. Adrian's jaw tightened. Fine. He cleared his throat and began. I publicly accused Lena Hart of cheating. With his voice faltered for a moment. Another man during our relationship. I have evidence proving her betrayal. She cannot be trusted in business or in personal matters. I felt my chest tighten. Every word stabbed me again. The humiliation I had carried for years returned tenfold. My career had collapsed because of this. My friends had doubted me. I had doubted myself. Adrian's face was pale. He kept reading, unaware that the words sounded heavier than he remembered. I whispered, That's exactly what ruined everything. Adrian paused, glancing at me. I thought it was true. Thought it was true. I spat. You shouted that in front of hundreds of people. You destroyed my career. The chime sounded again. Another screen popped up, this time showing a video call. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I opened it, and I saw my younger sister's face. Sophie. I gasped. Lena. Her voice cracked. Do you know what happened to us after that night? I swallowed hard. I know, Soph. I know it hurt all of us. You broke her life, Sophie said, glaring at Adrian through the screen. Do you even understand what she went through? She lost everything. Mom had to work double shifts. I had to leave school to help her. Adrian looked stricken. I didn't. I thought it was just between us. Just between us. I shouted. My entire life ended because of your so-called proof. Marcus stepped forward, his expression tight. Stop this nonsense, he snapped. You're making this ridiculous in front of everyone. Ridiculous. I said, voice shaking. Do you know how much I lost because of you two? Adrian's eyes were wide. Wait, what? You're telling me yes? I said. All of it. my reputation, my clients, my future. Gone because you believed lies, Adrian. He ran a hand over his face. I didn't know. You didn't know? I repeated. You didn't ask me. You didn't check the facts, and you destroyed my life.
Ow.
Marcus scoffed. You're exaggerating. That night was exaggerating. I interrupted. Do you see these numbers? I pointed to the screen. The system displayed financial records. Marcus's companies had skyrocketed right after my career fell apart. You gained a massive advantage while I was ruined. Admit it. Marcus's lips pressed into a thin line. He didn't answer. Adrian looked at him, eyes narrowing. Did you use me? Marcus stayed silent, staring straight ahead. I felt a strange mix of anger and satisfaction. The truth was out, and Adrian was finally beginning to see it. I didn't know he would. Adrian started, but he stopped, the words catching in his throat. Too late for excuses, I said. You believed the lie, and it destroyed me. Adrian's face was pale. He seemed smaller somehow, as if all his confidence had drained away. Sophie's voice came through again, trembling with anger. Do you understand what that night cost her? You don't get to erase that with excuses. I never wanted this to happen, Adrian whispered. No one asked what you wanted, I said. You accused me publicly. You humiliated me. That's what matters. Marcus finally spoke, his voice low and cold. You think this is all about Lena? You think I cared about her career? You were behind it. Adrian shouted, turning to him. I did what I had to do for the family, Marcus said calmly. She was collateral damage. I felt bile rise in my throat. Collateral damage? You call destroying my life collateral damage? Look, Marcus said, that's business. Business. I echoed, furious. You call ruining a human life business? Adrian sank into a chair, staring at the screen. I trusted him. I didn't realize exactly, I said. You trusted him blindly and destroyed me because of it. The room fell silent except for the soft hum of the system. I took a deep breath. My hands were shaking slightly, but I felt a strange sense of control. At least the truth was coming out now. Adrian was starting to see the pieces. The screen lit up again with a new message. I read it slowly, my stomach tightening. Tomorrow's task will reveal the real reason Adrian believed the lie. I looked at Adrian. His face was pale, guilt and confusion etched deep. Finally, for the first time, I felt like maybe this nightmare was beginning to unravel. CHP6, the screen blinked again, and my stomach sank. Adrian Cole, Victor Hale's voice said calmly. The system has revealed new evidence from the night of the scandal. Adrian looked at me, confused. New evidence? What do you mean? I kept my voice steady. I don't know yet, but it looks like the game isn't over. A man stepped out from the side of the hall. He was younger, sharp-eyed, and calm. I'm Ethan Brooks, he said. I handled the verification of all past messages related to this challenge. Adrian frowned. Verification? So this isn't just another system trick. No, Ethan said firmly. This is real. I can confirm the messages you saw that night were fabricated. Adrian froze, his eyes wide. What? Fabricated? Yes, Ethan said. Someone manipulated evidence to make you believe Lena was unfaithful. Every message, every call, it was falsified. I felt my chest tighten. Finally, some truth. Adrian turned to me, voice shaking. I thought you betrayed me. Never asked me the truth, I said quietly. He ran a hand over his face. I didn't. I thought I had proof. I really believed it, I whispered. You believed a lie, and it ruined my life. Marcus Cole stepped forward, his expression cold. I suppose it's time I clarify my part. Adrian turned sharply to him. Marcus, I created the lie, Marcus said evenly. Every message, every rumor. I pushed it so you'd act the way I wanted. Adrian's face went pale. You did this? I did, Marcus said. You were the perfect tool. Emotional, impulsive, easy to manipulate. I needed you to accept a business marriage that would benefit our family company. You destroyed everything. Adrian shouted, his voice echoing through the hall. I didn't destroy anything, Marcus said calmly. You did that yourself. Adrian's fists clenched. You ruined Lena's life. Marcus shrugged. She was collateral damage. You were always too emotional to see the bigger picture.
Wow.
I felt a mix of anger and satisfaction. For years, I had been blamed for things I didn't do. Now Adrian was starting to see it. Adrian's voice shook. I can't believe I destroyed your life for nothing. For what? A business deal? Yes, Marcus said coldly. Exactly that. I stepped closer to Adrian. Do you understand now? You acted on lies. You humiliated me, lost my trust, and destroyed my career all because of him. He ran a hand through his hair, staring at Marcus. I was used. You were, I said firmly, and you need to face that. Marcus tilted his head. And now what? Are you going to ruin me? Expose me to the world? Adrian turned to the screen slowly, his face pale. The system. It wants me to answer. I have to choose. I swallowed hard. My throat was dry. Choose what? The next task, Adrian said quietly. I have to decide whether to protect my brother or expose him for what he did to you. Marcus's lips curled into a smirk. Careful, Adrian. One wrong move, and the system will penalize you. Your prize, your reputation, all at risk. Adrian's fists clenched again. I can't believe I trusted you, Marcus. I trusted you over her. You did, Marcus said simply. And look where it got you. I felt tears prick my eyes. Years of humiliation, years of anger, and now finally a sense of vindication. Adrian was starting to see the truth, and maybe, finally, the scales would tip. Adrian, I said softly, you need to be honest. With yourself and with me. He turned to me, his eyes wide, searching. I don't know if I can. You can, I said quietly. You already started. You just have to finish. Marcus's smirk faltered slightly, and I felt the tension in the room shift. Ethan stepped forward. Remember, Adrian? The system is watching. Your decision will have consequences. Protect your brother or expose the truth. There is no middle ground. Adrian's jaw tightened. He glanced at me, then at Marcus. I have to choose. I nodded slightly. Yes, you have to choose for the first time in your life. Not based on lies, not based on loyalty, but on truth. The hall was silent except for the hum of the system. I held my breath as Adrian's eyes flicked between his brother and me, the weight of years of lies pressing down on him. Finally, he whispered almost to himself, I can't keep living in that lie. A chime echoed through the mansion. The screen lit up again. I read the words slowly, my hands trembling. Tomorrow's task demands Adrian choose between protecting his brother or exposing him to the world. I swallowed hard, my heart pounding. The moment of truth had finally arrived. I heard the hum of cameras outside. Who's that? I whispered. Adrian didn't answer at first. His eyes were fixed on the screen. Then a voice came from the mansion speakers. A journalist has arrived outside. Olivia Grant is reporting on your challenge. I felt my stomach tighten. A reporter? Now? Adrian ran a hand through his hair. This makes everything harder. I stayed quiet. Let him think. He finally muttered. If I expose Marcus, he loses everything. You already made your choice years ago, I said quietly. Adrian flinched at my words. I know. I stepped closer. You acted on lies back then. The damage is done. All you can do now is face it. He exhaled slowly. I can't imagine the look on his face when I broadcast the truth. Then imagine mine, I said. You humiliated me, Adrian. I lived through it every single day. He swallowed hard. I have to tell the truth now. There's no other way. The screen blinked. The system prompted him. Expose the manipulation or protect your brother. Adrian's hand shook slightly as he touched the panel. I have to expose him. Do it, I whispered. Finally, he looked at me and his eyes held years of regret. I ruined you, Lena. Yes, I said simply. You did. Marcus suddenly appeared behind him. You wouldn't dare. He snapped. Adrian didn't flinch. I have to. You're destroying everything I built, Marcus said, voice low and dangerous. I destroyed nothing, Adrian said firmly. I was manipulated. The truth ends that now. I watched as he pressed the final button. The screen flickered. Marcus's face appeared live on the system broadcast. People need to know the truth, Adrian said clearly. Marcus Cole created lies to push me into a business marriage, manipulated evidence, and caused years of suffering for Lena Hart. Marcus's eyes widened. You ruined my life, I said calmly, my voice steady despite my racing heart. You lied, and everyone believed you for years. Marcus's jaw tightened. You think you can expose me and walk away? I already survived what you did, I said. Your threats mean nothing. The mansion doors opened behind Marcus. He stormed out, fury in every step. Adrian slumped into a chair, finally exhausted. I ruined you. Yes, I said again, my voice soft but firm. You did. He buried his face in his hands. The years of arrogance, of confidence, everything it was gone. I had never seen him like this. I didn't realize. I thought I was protecting the family, he said quietly. You were protecting lies, I said. And your brother's ego. That was your choice, Adrian, the system chimed. Another prompt appeared on the screen. I read it slowly. Final challenge. Determine who truly survived the truth. Adrian lifted his head, eyes wide and haunted. This is it. Yes, I whispered. This is everything. Every secret, every lie, every consequence, all comes down to now. He swallowed hard, looking at the empty space where Marcus had stormed out. I don't know if I can face it all. You already faced the hardest part, I said quietly. You finally told the truth. That was the part that mattered the most. The mansion fell silent, except for the soft hum of the system. I felt a strange calm settle over me. The past was exposed, the lies were gone, and for the first time, I felt like I could breathe. Adrian's shoulders sagged, completely broken. I watched him, my heart heavy but steady. Victor Hale's voice boomed through the mansion. The final challenge will now determine who truly survived the truth. I looked at Adrian. He met my eyes, a mixture of fear and exhaustion. This is it, he whispered. Yes, I said softly. It's finally over. But not really. The truth always has one last test. CHP-8 Victor Hale finally appeared in the room. I felt my chest tighten the moment he stepped forward. Lena Hart? Adrian Cole, he said calmly. This is the final stage of the challenge. I swallowed hard. Final stage? Yes, Victor replied. The goal of this experiment was never money alone. It was to see whether truth can change people. Adrian looked at me, his eyes full of regret. Change me? Yes, I said quietly. It's not too late, Adrian. You can still own up to everything. Victor nodded. The final question is simple, but brutal. Screen lit up behind him. I read the words aloud before he even spoke. If you could go back, would you still choose the same path? Adrian's lips parted. He looked at me, his voice trembling. No, he whispered. I felt a lump in my throat. You mean it? Yes, he said. I would have asked the truth first. I would have trusted you. I shook my head slowly. It took years for you to say that. Adrian swallowed. I know, and I regret everything I did to you. I let the silence stretch for a moment, my chest heavy with the weight of all the past. Then I admitted something I had never said aloud. I spent years dreaming about revenge, I whispered. Planning it, imagining it. Wondering if you'd ever suffer like I did? Adrina's eyes widened. You wanted revenge? Yes, I said quietly. But this process, it changed me. Victor stepped forward. Exactly. The winner is not the one who suffers less. It is the one who grows. I felt my throat tighten. Grows after all of this? Yes, Victor said. Adversity tests you. Lies, betrayal, manipulation, they are only part of the process. Truth is the part that decides who stands at the end. I glanced at Adrian. His shoulders slumped. I never realized that my actions caused so much pain. I see that now. You see it now? I repeated softly. That's enough. Maybe we can both move forward. Daniel Reyes, who had been observing quietly, nodded. All scores have been calculated. The system has accounted for honesty, growth, and acceptance of the truth. Adrian let out a quiet sigh. So, all the tasks, all the games, this was about growth. Yes, I said. Not just about money or revenge or proving who was right. Victor smiled faintly. The system has now finalized its assessment. I felt a flutter of nervousness in my stomach. After everything, the lies, the humiliation, the betrayal, what would it say? The screen blinked. Numbers and scores appeared for a moment before fading. Victor turned to me slowly. His eyes were calm, almost unreadable. Lena, the inheritance is yours. I blinked. Mine, yes, he said. You proved that truth, integrity, and growth matter more than vengeance or wealth. You survived the truth in the truest sense. I swallowed hard, letting the words sink in. I didn't think it would feel like this. Relief, maybe. Or peace. Victor nodded. It's more than peace. It's the acknowledgement that you faced everything honestly. That you allowed yourself to grow despite betrayal, lies, and pain. I looked at Adrian. His expression was heavy, filled with remorse and exhaustion. I ruined so much, he whispered. Yes, I said softly, but you see it now. That's what matters. The mansion was silent except for the soft hum of the system. I took a deep breath, feeling a strange calm spread through me. Years of anger, plotting, and fear seemed to release all at once. Victor stepped back, giving me a small nod. This concludes the experiment. Your journey is complete. Lena Hart. I exhaled slowly. It feels unreal. Adrian reached out slightly, his voice low. I hope. One day, you can forgive me. I looked at him, and for the first time I felt I could. Maybe, but for now, I just want to live my life. Victor's gaze returned to me. You survived the truth, and now you can finally claim what you've earned. I swallowed hard, looking at the screen one last time. The words lingered. Truth, growth, survival, and finally I felt like I could breathe.